Well, 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 here we are again, and I'm sitting here about to justify the concept of a certain political view, not necessarily because I agree with it, but because I feel it necessary to do so. I've lived my life, most of it, generally, when we go back to the past, as somebody who would consider themselves a left-leaning person. I've always had this whole concept that people in general have to think about each other in order for them to actually give a shit. Well, unfortunately, here we are again today with the sad concept that I'm stuck fucking trying to sit here and justify a side of people who have this weird fucking concept that for some reason this cacophony of bumfuckery that I deal with on a daily basis is something that I have to talk about. So, here we go. The people who remain in the center of a debate, making them some sort of fence sitter, is one of those things that I don't really understand. Personally, in a lot of the debates that run around in the political spectrum, I just don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about the concept of China's taxes on the rich or the taxes on the people. I don't give a shit about the concept of Venezuela falling or rising. The only reason most people do is because it's a fine example of why socialism and communism will always fucking fail because of the people involved in it, leading eventually to the widespread tyranny of not being able to buy a fucking loaf of bread for under $100. That's why anybody ever cares. That's why I really don't give a shit. Because, to be perfectly honest, I don't need an example of why communism fails, because I'm going to sit here and say, because it's dumb, and look at the facts. But now we come into another little problem that I seem to run into. The concept that I don't also like a lot of the things on the right. I can't be a person who is exclusively a left-leaning individual or a right-leaning individual, because the moment I start being one is the moment I have to start justifying actions that I cannot. Even libertarians have their McNuke policy. The whole thing where people can have commercial-sized nuclear weaponry. I can't agree with that, but here's a little key point. The concept of everybody should have a gun, the concept of everybody should be accepted, and the concept of every libertarian should have access to nuclear weapons at any point in time, these are extreme views on varying sides of the aisle. I'm just not an extremist. And that's where I think a lot of people run into this major issue. This concept that we all have to be huggy, touchy-feely with other people of our side. No, you don't have to be. You can be the biggest dick to somebody who agrees with you 100% politically, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't agree with some of the stupid shit they like. Shit like Antifa, Black Lives Matter, fucking the KKK, the new neoliberal neo-Nazi movements. All of these things are all extreme concepts of one particular side or the other, and I don't particularly agree with anybody who says an extreme. If I want people to be able to own and purchase firearms, it's going to be firearms. If I want a wide group to accept it in society, I can allow that. But here's the kicker. When you tell me that everybody in the United States needs to be owning a fully automatic machine gun, we're going to disagree. There's some people who shouldn't have a firearm at all. And now, when the left decides to tell me that I shouldn't be a little worried about going down into Uncle Touchy's puzzle basement for a fucking chit-chat with a pedophile, I shouldn't be worried. No, I'm sorry, I can't agree with that. See, we run into this long-term problem every single fucking day that I have to somehow agree with wild ideas on one side of the aisle or the other. Well, I'm sorry, I'm neutral. As long as your idea is not invalid, stupid, retarded, or setting the fucking nation on fire, I'm not gonna have a real big problem with it. But let's be fair. Some of the shit on both sides, be it extreme or even moderately extreme, it's just not something I want to get into. And let's be fair, when we go down into the road of all of this fucking bullshit that we have to constantly deal with, on this fucking cacophony of a highway to hell, I find myself taking the slow lane, looking at the things that we have to. Because the day we don't is the day that I have to sit here and start fucking trying to justify pedophiles, or justify owning a goddamn machine gun, or owning a goddamn nuke. I'm not going to do it. I don't give a shit. If you want to change something currently in our political climate, the best thing you can do is vote for it. So I urge you, if you hold a moderate view, something that could be considered violent or non-violent, go vote. Go vote for an asshole who agrees with you. If you don't, vote for somebody who disagrees with the most extreme. I stole this idea from Razorfist. I am Ichabod, and God fucking speed.